Good morning, my friends. It's Friday. End of the week. I do love a good Friday. And I have a complete shambles on my desk. And I thought, I'm just going to leave it like this so you can get the full effect. I've been hunting out grungy stuff and I've found some grungy stuff and some that needs a bit of grunging up for this little grungy journal that I'm embarking upon. So I've got this little altered paperclip here that I made on Monday in Monday's video. And I've got this page here which I made on Trashcraft Tuesday. So we've got a couple of things that are made specifically for this journal. And of course the cover, which was made last Friday, I think. Don't hold me to that. Yeah, so that's the cover we're working with. I haven't sealed it yet. I have grabbed out the Mod Podge to do it with. I just haven't done it, and that's okay. I'm not going to rush this. I'm just going to enjoy and kind of feel my way. I have a couple of pieces which I made in a video for Patreon, and I've pulled out a bunch of pre-made ephemera that is either grungy or with a little tweak can be made grungy. And then I've got a bunch of stuff that I can work with. So first off, I need to kind of make a space that I can work. And I found this grubby envelope, you know, just bits and pieces. I wasn't going to use any digitals for the pages. And then I came across these in my stash, which are ones I've made. And I thought, you know what, they're grungy. And they're also getting quite, you know, dog-eared. So I might include those. They are white on the back. You can see the print coming through, but we might want to stencil or something. But I thought we could do something with those. We've got some really grungy, gorgeous eco-dyeing. This one's eco-dyeing with, I believe, red food colouring in the mix. So it's not super grungy, but it has got tears and holes and crinkles. Just some coffee dyed there. There's a brown paper bag. Page out of a 1958 newspaper. Some blue tissue. I just grabbed that. I thought, you know, maybe for decorating. I'll put that aside for now. Got this really damaged piece out of a book on the First World War. So not sure what date that is, but yeah, it's looking a bit tatty. It's got this big tear here as well, where it's been, like, it's not actually a hole. Can you see that? It's not a hole. It's just kind of like the paper's been peeled, but like it's super tatty. And cover from some sheet music, which is, you know, showing its history. This is some wrapping paper, and it's not old. It is relatively new. Actually not a very big section, because I've sent some of this out on Patreon. Whoops, that was a fun sound. Patreon mail, so I do have 2 other rolls, but I'm sure we can do something with that little piece. And then I come across this book, which is, you know, falling apart, and it's not super grungy, but I thought we could, you know, give it some ink, perhaps pick something with a page that kind of lends itself to being grunged up. I don't know. There's a lot of colour in here, but I thought it was fun. Oh, the ladies are all smoking. That kind of dates it, doesn't it? I'm wondering about actually just using that page, so we'll tear it out. Right, and then I can put the rest of the book aside. Okay, so I've got no definitive plan here, guys. Just letting you know up front that I don't know what I'm doing. Can you tell? But I just grabbed out stuff and I thought, let's just play. So where did I put my cover? Did I bury it already? Yes, I did, because this is the size and it's a little smaller than my normal size, so I need to keep this in mind. So first off, width-wise, let's fold it in half. And how about first up, we just look at creating some journal pages. I can't sew anything into it until I have sealed the cover, so we'll just throw together some pages for a start. Okay, I need to trim a little bit off the width and the height. So I almost need to lose this lady's head on that side. Or do I want to take, actually I could take the chair that she's sitting on instead. That's a good height, and width, go about there. It's a grungy journal, that's what we're building, so I'm not worried about, you know, pages all being nice and even or that sort of thing. It's just, you know, it's supposed to be grungy, so we're going to work with that. Uncover my rubbish bin so I can actually use it. So we've got 2 pages so far. The one that I made earlier in the week and our lady smoking. Right, this one I definitely want to put in. It's going to be way too big. It's got splatters, it's just tears, all sorts of stuff going on. It's got some old tape on the edges trying to hold the poor thing together. Right, now I need to be careful on this. Do I want to cut the edges off, or do I want to turn them into like a little flap? I don't think I want to chop things off this. I'm going to have to chop something, but let's chop as little as possible off of it. So that's good on the width. Has it got a date? Copyright MCMXLII, whatever that is. 1952 maybe. It seems a lot older because of the condition of it, but I'm not sure. I'm not good on Roman numerals once they start stacking up the letters. Right, so height is definitely way too high, way too tall. This is really lovely and wrinkled and distressed, and then this has got tears and that lovely hole. So I'm struggling a little bit as to what I want to do. I could, of course, fold it into like some bottom pockets. Let's have a look. And that would preserve as much of the paper as possible. So let's do that, but I'm going to trim out this corner because otherwise it's just going to create bulk and be a pain. So giving it a slight mitre, and maybe we can use that in collage or something, or decorating. So because we've cut that off, I think I'd put it that way over, and then this, I think I also want to take a little mitre out of there. So trying to cut away as little as possible of this beautiful old bit of sheet music, but still make it usable. You know, it's got to be usable at the end of the day. And do we need to reinforce it? It's not cracking, which is, well, is it? No, it's not really. It seems to be folding quite nicely. But this is going to have things slide in and out of it, so I'm going to put something behind it because it could just fall apart quite easily. Do I want to use a bit of this? Yeah, let's use a bit of that. It's going to be a pain because it's all so curly. Just need a strip of it. Do like that crunchy sound. Look at it. We made a ring. Put it on a finger. I'm in a crazy mood. Right. Let's put some glue on this weird bit of paper. And I'm choosing to use this instead of like a scrap of white paper, because it will show through the little chinks out of the edge. So I wanted something that would still bring a bit of grunge, a bit of colour in behind. This is really hard. It's so curly. Be fine once it's glued down. Be absolutely fine. In fact, it's a little bit long, is it? Not quite. No, it's okay. Just need to pull it slightly. No, it's stuck. It's already grabbed at this end, so it's where it's going. Yeah, so we've just got a little peek. Oh, my song. No, my phone just sing-songed. That's what I meant to say. I forgot to put it on Do Not Disturb. Sorry, guys. Hopefully it doesn't like do something like ring. You know, somebody call me or something. Right, so we are going to glue it top and bottom on this piece. Like so. Old tape. It's just authentic age, authentic grunge. And then the sides on here. And same on this side. And I'll take a look at that top corner, see whether it's going to need some attention, just to make sure it doesn't fall apart or anything. Not that falling apart is such a big issue with grunge. Okay, so we've got, oh, that one hasn't stuck down. Just give that, maybe I need a bit more glue. It's probably because of this tape along the top. Just going to put the glue down a bit further onto the paper, past the tape, so it will shorten that pocket a little bit. I haven't reinforced these because of the tape, so I figured they should be good to go. Right, stick down everything, make sure it's behaving. Right, so up here we've got that tape that's just lifting off a little bit. I think all it needs is just a little bit of glue, because it's got the surface of the paper stuck to the back of the tape, so it will glue down nicely, I believe. So we'll just glue that back down. And that hole's just fun, really. It's just fun. Okay, I don't think I'm going to ink it. I think I just want it to sing in its condition as it is now. So we have a pocket here, of course. We have a pocket here. So see here, it sits over top of the side one. And then we've got a pocket in here as well, which goes right down to the bottom. So 3 pockets in effect. So that's another page for our journal. Right, let's do a digital. And I think this one here, because it's quite dark and reads really grungy, and I think that's the aesthetic I was going with when I made it. So, you know, it's very handy. Right, let's take the white off the ends. Oh, it's got a little, I must have spilt some coffee or something on it. Splattered something. I'm going to have to cut this down even more to make it fit. So let's, where did I put, I keep losing the journal cover because I keep putting things on top. Right, I'm just going to fold it this way for now. A little bit more. Okay. Everything's so curly, it's going to drive me up the wall and down the other side again. Oops, no, that's, needs to go a little bit more. That's better. Okay. Let's do the other side. So I'm busy. Sorry, I've gone quiet because I'm trying to think what I want to do with the white side. Stenciling would be my probably go-to. I'm just being very rough with the measurements. Like, yep, that looks to be good, which is quite fun and freeing. As long as they fit, I'm happy. Right. Let's grab out a drop paper of some description. This one. It's getting smaller and smaller. And I think what I want to do is grab my ground espresso. Give it some good ink coverage on there. I'm going to do this. This is what I'm doing. Nice big hit there. That's fun. Thing with grunge, you don't have to worry it all being even and, you know, all that sort of stuff. It's just such a license to just be messy and not worry about, like, what is perfect when it comes to grungy. Perfection is mess, dirt, or the appearance of dirt, tears, and preferably not tears that you cry. You know, it's just such an invitation to just go all out on making something look really grubby. Right, need a proper ink up on there. Just the dabbing's not working for me. Need a good rub on the pad, and then I think I want to go in the middle. Isn't that fun? I think it's fun. Right, and I might just hit a little bit with the vintage photo. Whoops, squeak on my desk. And just to add a bit of depth and add it into the whiter areas that we've got, I'm not going to do the whole thing. I don't mind a bit of white, even with grunge. I just want to layer up that colour, give it some depth. And not have too much white. I don't mind white, but I don't want too much of it. Okay, that's looking pretty good to me. It's definitely not clean. So that's another page there, and we've got writing space, which we still need writing space, guys. Okay, next up we have this very tatty page. Now, should I turn it into a page, or should I love this bit. I love how it's naturally like concertinaed or pleated itself. I'm wondering whether it's better off to use it as ephemera, like, because we could make a feature of this rolled bit here, a feature of this. I think if I used it as a page, for one, that's going to tear off anyway. Okay, so we'll save that for ephemera. Decision made. We have our beautiful eco-dyed papers, and I do have more beside me, so if we're struggling for papers, I'm going to use more eco-dyed. Right, I don't need that one. I need my journal cover. That's what I need. So I'm using the journal cover instead of measuring the pages against each other, because I don't actually want them to be the same. I'm using the, keep going back to the journal cover as my benchmark for my pages. Now I want this to be a bit narrower. Oh, isn't that so scrummy? I love this. This is so fun. Oh, my phone's singing again. That sounded like a text. Right. So do I want to flap this? No, I'm going to trim it off. And that will be a nice scrap for making into something else, because it's got a like a hole there. Get all the pieces under the guard. I can make this slightly wider. Don't have to be the same width, as long as they both fit inside the cover. And why did I put the guillotine away? Because I need to trim. Now I like the markings at the top here, so I'm going to trim a bit off the bottom. And we need to do a reasonable amount, maybe ½ an inch. So let's swing it around this way and do ½ an inch off, or give or take. Go there. Another fun scrap. Yep, beautiful. Okay, how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 pages. We need quite a bunch more, don't we? I'm not sure whether I will get the normal amount in this journal. We'll see. Normal being around 15 pages. Right, this fun bit of eco-dyed. It's got beautiful leaf print there. It's not super grungy in terms of colour. Like, it's not dark, but I think it still fits being grungy. So let's go about there. Oh, I love that fun edge. Okay, and let's go about there. Yep, and then I'm just going to tear off this bit there. So what we could do for that is ink up that edge. And I think I'm just going to use Vintage Photo. I think going the super dark wouldn't be, yeah, don't want to go super dark, I don't think. But we can always add it if we decide, yeah, I want to go super dark. highlight that fun edge a little bit. Yeah, it just gives it a little pop off the page. Of course, it's not going to be sitting together, most likely. It's going to be nestled in between other pages. But okay, and we've got a tear down the bottom. See that? There's another leaf print there. It's a bit more subtle. Right, what was that? 6? Are we up to 6? Gosh, we've got a long way to go. Okay, this paper that I've been using as a drop page, I think we should use this. I don't want this hard sort of cut edge here though, so maybe it's going to be a shorter page. If we trim it down about there, if we can. It's giving me trouble. So we've still got some for using on ephemera. So I hope you've had a good week this week, my friends. I hope it's been a really lovely one, full of good things. Right, so it's going to be a squat page. Okay, there. And I'm just going to tear this edge. And of course, not caring that it's not straight, because that's great that it's not straight. So what are we up to? 7 now. Okay, paper bag is, first off, is this going to fit? I think it will. Let's fold it in half. It's a very thin paper bag. Mushroom bag. Oh, it's just gonna fit. Okay. I think I would like to decorate it up a bit, although I think it's really cool as it is. Oh, excuse me. But I'm just going to add it to the pile for now. Let's do another digital. So I think this one is going to fit the bill. I'll have to find another drop paper since I've cut my other one into a journal page now. Maybe we want to stencil this one instead of just rubbing it with ink, just to give some variation. Okay. Yep, that should be good. Trim off the white. There, and now the height. So I'm going to go about there. Of course, I could fold this end in and make it into a tuck or something, but I am going to chop it off. Oops, a little sliver there. Right. So let's see what stencil we might like for that. Got some coffee splatters. You might want to accent with those. We've got numbers. Numbers might be fun. thinking in my mind, assessing the patterns, and it's like, what would, I mean, that stencil is grungy, it's covered in coffee. What would lend itself to that sort of grungy look out of the patterns, designs that I have in my stencils. I mean, anything really would work. Animal. I do have a steampunk sort of style one here. That might be quite cool. Okay, let's go with those three and see what we can do. Right, drop paper. Okay, I'm going to cut this paper bag apart, and this will be my new drop paper. So do I want to keep this? Not sure. We're doing grungy, so I'll just pop it in the pile of scraps for now. Might be useful for something. Right, just cut down one of these lines, roughly. Oh, it's got probably broccoli, little crumbs of broccoli florets in there. Right, work in half, I think. Maybe that side. All sorts of crinkling going on today. Okay, clear some space and let's think about what we want. I think maybe this one around the edges. I think that would be quite cool. Right, let's do vintage photo because I prefer stenciling with the brushes. They just work better on stencils in my opinion. You can get in there quite well. You don't damage your stencil, or less risk of damaging your stencil, and give a nice soft edges instead of like these tend to leave a hard edge on your stenciling, and I don't want that. So I'm trying to vary things as I go so that you're getting variety in this video, even though we have the grunge theme, that, you know, I'm doing different bits and pieces so that you can just get an overall feel for things. So I hope that's working. I hope it's okay with you guys. It's fun, isn't it? Okay, let's put that there. Now, will I do it all the way around? I'm not sure, because I want to put those other two stencils. I want to incorporate those as well. This stencil is black, partly black, because I loaned it to an artist friend who used it to spray paint a penguin. We have art trails. I think they're around the world. I think they're quite common in other parts of the world. And I think the second one, the first time they did it was giraffes, and the second time was penguins, and that's back when we had our arts collective here in Amberley. And so I was one of the 3 people doing a penguin, which was so fun, and got to go to the auction and see it auctioned off to, you know, fundraising for charity. And I think I'll do it up here. I don't think I'll do it at the top. Super fun. And one of the 3, well, my other 2 partners who were doing our penguin, they each had another penguin each. And so one of my friends was doing a steampunk penguin. So she borrowed my stencil and spray painted with it. And it's like, yeah, I'm fine with that. The spray paint's not going to harm the stencil. It just makes it different colour and not as see-through, or not see-through at all, which is absolutely fine. So it was such a cool thing to be a part of and to be involved in the auction and, you know, hearing people bid, and it's like, more, more, more. It's so exciting. I loved it. That's quite a few years ago now. One day I should actually show you a picture of the penguin that I was involved in doing. And they're like big penguins, you know, statue penguins. I'm not sure how tall, slightly shorter than me. So, you know, quite big. And then they get put out on a trail. Before the auction, they get put out on a trail so everybody can go around and see them and take photos with them and that sort of stuff. Right, I actually think I want lighter ink. So I'm going to go old paper. And switch out my... So I don't have a brush for the old paper, so I'm going to just have to be very careful. And this has already got bits poking up on it, so we'll see how it goes. Just going to have to be very careful. Yes, it's pulling off some of the fluff. Well, that's not super successful. I'll admit that. It's not. I mean, it's got texture, but you can't actually really tell that it's numbers. But if it's just texture, well, so be it. You can see the numbers there better. Trying to dab it and yet still smush it into the stencil. Yep, 3 patches, that's enough. That's enough for me. I'm not fighting with that anymore. Okay, swap back from that pad to the ground espresso. And I want to do some of these like splatters and coffee rings. I think this is a nice big splatter. So yeah, I think ground espresso. I mean, it is a coffee colour, isn't it? So a dark, nice dark coffee splatter. Yeah. See, even the stencil's not liking this tool very much. Just trying to get down into some of those thin. Here we go. Let's use this other one up the top. It's got some tiny little holes there for doing tiny splatter dots, but really, how much ink would you actually get showing through those? Certainly I tried to, and there's nothing showing, so I think that those tiny little holes are a little impractical. Let's just put this dark one down here. Dark one. That's not what I meant. I'm going to make it dark, but it's just kind of like a round splatter. And then maybe these rings up the top. I need to clean my stencil with this dark ink. Trying to get in those holes. Cool. Okie dokie. I'm going to call that good. That's enough fighting with stencils. Just give this a clean off. I can't see it on the one with the spray paint on. Can't see the ink residue, but it will be there. Okay, and that's going to add some colour onto that. Oh, look at the other side. The other side's grubby. Let's give that bit of a clean while we're here. Add some more colour onto this paper bag. So yeah, come along and help me do a bit of cleanup. Do appreciate it, guys. Right, that's good enough for me. Let's give this one a little clean off, see if what we get. Oh, I can see some ink on it, on those lighter areas where there's not as much spray paint. Okay, that one, and we might as well do this one. Might as well do them all. This one's had gold used on it. Gold ink, I think. Ink, I think. Think I ink. I was quite surprised actually going through my pre-made ephemera how many pieces I found that lended themselves well to grungy. So that was quite fun. Right, that'll do for that one. Okay, clean up done. Shove that back into the glass so it stays moist. Okay, I am going to call that page done. Or do I want to ink around the edges? Let's just give it a quick ink around the edges. I think just to finish it off, like kind of confine the pattern that I've put on there. In fact, let's bring this back. It might be easier to do it this way. Oops. Just try and do it quick. One more side. Okay. Right, now I'm calling that done now. Cool. Right, what's next, my friends? We've got this wonderful bit of newspaper. I've got the whole newspaper. It's from the Queen Elizabeth II's visit to New Zealand. So it's a lot of it is memorabilia, I guess, but the back of it is usual newspaper stuff, advertisements, cool stuff, really cool stuff, you know, really vintage ads and stuff. But I thought this one I could use. Now, I quite like this ad here. I don't know what I'll do with it, but we're going to just remove that there. Because this page is way too big, right? So we need to cut it down anyway. I think we still need to lose a bit of height. I don't really want to lose the date at the top because I think the date's a really cool part of it, but we can take down to the date to start with. I have to say it's not super strong paper. It is newsprint and it's old newsprint. Okay, let's take down to the text on this side. Or, just wondering, I'm not so fussed on this picture of these guys, like, you know, there. Not super exciting, but I'm just wondering, because this is a little brittle, whether I just glue that to reinforce that edge of the page. I'm going to do that. Okay, glue pages, where are you? And I might need to put a bit of washi down the spine just so it doesn't tear out of the journal. And when I say might, I mean I will, because I don't want it like that other page that we did the other day. I don't want it to tear out, give way at some point. Might as well make sure it's going to stay in place. Right, glue that edge down. And where's my journal? I keep losing my journal cover. It just blends in with all the grunge that's on my desk. I like this edge, but we're probably going to lose it. And I still need to do take some off the height, but let's go about there. But we'll cut this off and we can use that fun bit on something, on a bit of ephemera. Keep hitting things with the ruler. You probably noticed. Okay, actually, we want to do the same thing and fold that in. Yeah, let's do that. So we're not going to lose that edge. It's just going to be glued down. Now, have I folded that in enough? Yep, that will be fine. So it won't be as visible, I don't think, this fun edge, but it will still be there. And we would have covered over some of the photograph. R. Smith, T.J. Smith, D. Segenfield, and G. Tancred, all of Sydney. Well, they're not even New Zealanders, so there you go. It is a New Zealand paper, and those people are all Australians. Oh, don't stick, don't stick. All right, push all those little fluffy bits on the edge down. They show up beautifully on the image, actually. That's where they really shine. Okay, cool. Right. I think I'm going to put the washi tape down the middle on the inside as opposed to the outside, because that's going to cover some of that image as well. Now, what washi tape? I'm going to go with this one again. To me, that reads probably the most grungy out of what I own. Looking around. Yeah, I think this one. It's definitely the most grungy from what I can see that's hanging around my desk. This one's quite sticky too. Hopefully I put that over the crease because I couldn't quite see it. I might have to go shopping for some grungy washi. Right. Now I'll give that a nice burnish, and that should help that washi tape really stick down. And our journal page won't fall out at some point in the future because it's been reinforced. Maybe I should have torn that edge, but it's too late now. But it has got some fun colouring along the edge. Just got a little bit lifting up here. And we've got some of those crunchy edges lifting up, but I'm not so worried about those. I think that's actually fun. Right. Oh, phone, just be quiet, would you? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just have to make sure I put this one in the right way up. 10. We're actually making progress. That paper bag's actually got a tear in it, I see, which is pretty good. Okay. Oh, did I need to... Actually, I didn't check the height on that. Oops, we need to cut some off. Do we want to cut the top or the bottom? The bottom, because I want to retain that date. So, chopping the bottom. Forgot to check the height. So we're going to go there-ish. It's a food bank day, so it's possibly clients wanting parcels. I haven't had anyone requesting parcels for today, so it quite possibly could be that. But I will check that later. Right, so that's 10, isn't it? Okay, let's do this. Do we want to do this coffee dyed? Or do we want to do this grungy bad boy? Oh, yum. If that's not grunge, what is? And it has actually got some leaf prints on it, on both sides. There's a nice big one here that looks like it's not a maple, oak leaf, that one. So fun. All this grungy when I put too much rusty metal in the pot and cooked it for too long. That's what happens. But it's great for grunge. Right, we are going to go about there. We'll probably end up with coffee dyed as well. But I've got my bag of eco-dyed papers down beside me, and I just saw this one popping its little head up going, pick me, pick me. And I was like, okay, I will pick you. You've been chosen. You volunteered. And fun scraps. Right, now we need to do the height as well. So I'm going to leave all this beautiful dark edge. I'm going to take the bottom edge. It's still got some nice dark, but that will make good ephemera or collage fodder. I seem to not have a lot of variety in sizes. Like there's little variances, and we do have that shorter page, but and we've got a narrower page too, don't we? This one's narrower a little bit. This one's narrower, but I think I want to add some more different kind of dimension pages in there, give a bit more variety. Do we want to do that with the coffee dyed? So we've got 11 by my count. Here's a small piece. This is bond paper, so it's A5. So that will give us a smaller page, and I'm going to not fold it in half. So we're going to have a really small side and a larger side. So that's 12, I believe. Let's do the coffee dyed. I think I will save these digitals to use in ephemera bits. So I want to retain this dark edge here because that's fun. That's grungy. And let's make that a bit shorter on that side. And then this edge I want to tear. And I'm tearing it a little bit wider than the back half. See that? So we've got some fun things happening and a great scrap. Stacking my scraps up at the top there. Okay, let's do the height now. Actually, do we want to, which edge do I want to keep the most? I mean, there's some nice colour there, but probably want to retain this bit more. So let's put it here and tear at the top. I'm going to tear it this way because it will be easier. And trying to make it nice and uneven because that's fun. Cool, that's another page. Oh, so happy, we're making progress. Do we want any more book page? Because what have we got? We've got the one that we did the strips on. We have that card playing book page. We have sheet music. Yeah, let's see if we can find another bit of some different book page. I'm just looking behind me. Hang on, guys. This is 1916. It's not particularly grungy. It's got little viola there. What's this one? Hymns. This is 1950. Again, it's not super grunge. This paper is 1963 and it's very crunchy. It's Enid Blyton, but it's also too small. I've got so many books and I'm struggling. Maybe this one, maybe something out of that book. And I'm struggling because most of them are away in a different room, you know, put away so that they're tidy, which means if I want something on the fly, I haven't got access to them during a video unless I paused, but I'm not super keen to do that. Oh, that's one that I've put white paint on, and that one, got fluff in amongst the pages, so they're quite fun, but not for what I'm doing today. Let's just grab a random page, flattening out that spine a little bit to try and tear the page. There we go. It's going to be a nice little page size, so that's fun. Okay, I need to recount. I've lost count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. How are we doing in terms of... Oh, okay, let's put them together. I'm not worried about order right now. I'm just like sitting them together so I can ascertain as to whether we've actually reached our limit for the cover or not. Just stacking them up. So the only thing I'm paying attention to is making sure that they're lined up. top and bottom, so I can get a really good visual on how things are looking. I love this paper. All right, paper bag, digital, and our sheet music. Okay, what are we looking like? It's not bad actually. I think it's just going to be a round journal. I think we could afford to put one more page in. Do you reckon? Do you reckon we should? It is quite bulky, and we've still got to add pockets and stuff. I'm thinking maybe not now. I'm changing my mind. So 14 pages. I think I'm going to leave it at that. Okay. We are leaving it 14, just because it is a smaller cover, and it's quite, quite thick, and we haven't got, see it is cracking on the edge there, but we'll address that. We haven't got like a thick spine, we've just got the fold. So I think, and I still want to, load it up with fun things. So that's that. We've done the pages. Yet to sort the order and stuff like that. Here's the paper bag. Thinking, do we want to do something with the paper bag? How are we going time? Oh my goodness, I'm sorry guys, we are over time. I was having so much fun. Okay, well, we got the pages sorted. I think we can count that as good progress, and leave it there. Thanks for joining me. Have a beautiful weekend, my friends. I'll be back again tomorrow with collage stories if you want to join me for that. It will be a much shorter video than today's. Take care, my friends. Bye.